Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt completely at peace? Not just for a fleeting moment, but truly calm, focused, and in control. Most people can't even remember because stress has become their normal state. They wake up with it, they carry it through the day, they go to bed with it. And here's the brutal truth. Chronic stress is not just making you feel overwhelmed, it's literally damaging your brain. See, your brain wasn't designed to live in a constant state of worry. Stress is meant to be a temporary response, a way to help you react to immediate danger. It's supposed to be short-term, fight or flight, then back to balance. But that's not what's happening anymore. Most people are stuck in a loop, drowning in stress from work, relationships, finances, self-doubt. They're living in a survival state 24/7, and they don't even realize the cost. Every time you stress out, every time you let anxiety take over, your body releases cortisol. Now, cortisol isn't bad in small doses, but when it's pumping through your system nonstop, it starts attacking the very thing that makes you sharp, creative, and mentally strong. It weakens neural connections, shrinks your memory center, and makes it harder to focus, to think clearly, to make decisions. You ever walk into a room and forget why you're there? Ever read something and realize you didn't absorb a single word? That's not just being distracted, that's stress eroding your brain's ability to function at its peak. And the worst part, most people think this is just how life is. They accept it, they numb it, they reach for their phones, scroll for hours, binge watch shows, drink, eat junk food, anything to escape. But none of that fixes the problem. It only buries it deeper. Stress isn't going away on its own. You have to take control. You have to decide right now that you will not be a prisoner to your own mind. Because here's the thing, your brain responds to what you give it. You train it every single day. If you train it to live in stress, it will keep you in stress. But if you train it for calm, for resilience, for power, it will rise to that level. It starts with awareness. The moment you feel stress creeping in, stop, breathe, shift your focus, move your body, break the cycle. Instead of feeding fear, feed certainty. Replace panic with presence. The more you do this, the more you rewire your brain for strength instead of survival. You were not put on this earth to live in a constant state of stress. Your mind is built for greatness, for creativity, for problem solving. It cannot thrive in chaos. It's time to step up. It's time to take your power back, because the second you do, the second you take charge of your mind instead of letting stress control you, that's when everything changes. You ever wake up feeling like you barely slept, like you're dragging yourself through the day, running on fumes, relying on coffee, energy drinks, whatever it takes to keep you going, and you tell yourself it's fine, that you'll catch up on sleep later? But let me tell you something, your brain doesn't work that way. You don't catch up on sleep. You either give your brain what it needs to perform at its best, or you rob yourself of the energy, focus, and power you need to create the life you want. Sleep isn't just rest, it's a weapon. It's the foundation of every single thing you do. You want to be sharp, you want to think fast, you want to have the mental clarity to make the right decisions, to lead, to push yourself beyond where you are now, then you better start taking sleep seriously, because when you cut corners on sleep, you're cutting corners on your potential. Every night your brain goes through a process. It clears out toxins, consolidates memories, strengthens neural connection. This is how you learn, how you adapt, how you grow. But if you're skimping on sleep, if you're staying up late, scrolling, watching, worrying, then you're literally shutting down the part of your brain that helps you succeed. Your ability to focus, diminish. Your creativity, crushed. Your decision-making, impaired. You think you're functioning, but really you're just surviving. And here's the kicker. Most people don't even realize they're sleep deprived. They think being tired all the time is normal. They don't remember what it feels like to wake up fully charged, to walk into a room and own it, to attack the day with the energy and focus of someone who is truly unstoppable. Instead, they live in a constant fog, blaming stress, blaming age, blaming everything but the real culprit, lack of quality sleep. And let's be real, this isn't just about getting more sleep. You could be in bed for 8 hours and still wake up exhausted if your sleep quality is garbage. You have to protect your sleep like your future depends on it, because it does. Cut the screens before bed, get your body moving during the day, set a routine, make your sleep space sacred, because if you keep treating sleep like an afterthought, don't be surprised when your brain starts treating your dreams the same way. This is non-negotiable. You wouldn't expect your phone to run on 5% battery all day, so why do you expect your brain to? Your mind is your greatest asset, and if you're not giving it the rest it needs, you're fighting an uphill battle every single day. You want to dominate? You want to create, to lead, to be the kind of person who makes an impact? Then start acting like it. Treat your sleep like the priority it is, because the moment you do, the moment you take control of your energy, your focus, your mental power, that's the moment everything changes. You wouldn't put garbage in a high-performance sports car and expect it to run at top speed, right? So why do so many people fuel their bodies, and more importantly their brains, with junk and expect to function at their best? What you eat isn't just about how you look. It's about how you think, how you perform, how you show up in your life. And let me tell you something. Most people are out here poisoning their own minds with every bite they take, and they don't even realize it. Your brain is an energy-hungry machine. It's only about 2% of your body weight, but it consumes over 20% of your energy. That means whatever you're feeding your body, you're feeding your brain. And if you're living on processed foods, sugar, artificial ingredients, and caffeine overloads, you're not just killing your energy, you're literally destroying your ability to focus, to remember, to make decisions. Your brain isn't getting the nutrients it needs to fire on all cylinders, and it's paying the price. Think about the last time you had a meal packed with sugar, refined carbs, or greasy fast food. What happened an hour later? You crashed, your focus disappeared, your mood tanked, you felt sluggish, irritated, maybe even anxious. That's not just a coincidence. That's your brain reacting to being deprived of real fuel. The more you repeat that cycle, the more you condition your mind to operate in a constant state of fog. And here's the dangerous part. When you're living in that fog long enough, it starts to feel normal. You forget what mental clarity even feels like. But here's the truth. Your brain is designed to thrive. It wants to be sharp. It wants to fire at full capacity, and when you give it what it actually needs, nutrient-dense foods, clean proteins, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals, it rewards you with laser-focused, deep creativity and unstoppable energy. Suddenly, you're not dragging yourself through the day, you're attacking it. You're not just reacting to life, you're leading it. So the question is, what are you putting into your body every single day? Because your future, your success, your ability to perform at your peak all start with what's on your plate. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be intentional. Cut the processed junk, reduce the sugar, fuel your mind with the right foods, because when you start eating like someone who demands more from life, your brain will respond in ways you never thought possible. This isn't about dieting. It's not about restriction. It's about taking ownership of the one thing you can't afford to compromise, your mind. Because at the end of the day, your brain will only give back what you put in. Feed it garbage and you'll get garbage results. Feed it power and you will become unstoppable. Your brain and your body are not separate. They are one system working together, feeding off each other. But most people treat them like they have nothing to do with each other. They sit all day, barely move, and then wonder why they feel sluggish, unmotivated, foggy, and stuck. Let me tell you something. Your brain is only as strong as the body that carries it. If you're not moving, if you're not pushing yourself physically, you are literally shutting down your own potential. Think about this. Every time you move, every time your heart rate goes up, your brain sends fresh oxygen, nutrients, and blood flow to your brain. That means more energy, more focus, more creativity. Exercise isn't just about looking good or staying in shape. It's about supercharging your mind. It strengthens the neural connections in your brain. It boosts memory. It sharpens decision making. You ever notice how some of your best ideas come when you're walking, running, lifting? That's because movement wakes up your mind. It pulls you out of that sluggish state and puts you in control. But here's the problem. Most people are stuck in a cycle of inactivity. They wake up, they sit in a car or at a desk all day, they come home, they sit on the couch, and they repeat it the next day. And then they wonder why they feel drained, why they can't focus, why they don't have the drive to go after what they want. It's not a mystery. Their body is sending a message to their brain. We're shutting down, and the brain listens. It slows down, it gets lazy, it stops pushing for more. You ever feel like you just don't have the energy to work out? That's not because you're too tired. It's because you haven't been moving. The less you move, the less energy you have. It's a vicious cycle, but the second you break it, everything changes. You don't need to become an elite athlete. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. You just need to move every single day. Walk, stretch, lift, run, dance, jump, whatever it takes to wake your body up, because when your body wakes up, so does your brain. And let me tell you something. Your potential, your dreams, your ambitions, they demand energy. They demand stamina. They demand a mind that is clear, focused, and relentless. And if you're not taking care of the machine that carries that mind, you are robbing yourself of everything you could be. You want to think bigger, you want to be sharper, you want to have the fire to chase down your vision, then move. Because when you take control of your body, you take control of your mind. And when you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. Your thoughts are the blueprint for your reality. Every single day, you are wiring and rewiring your brain based on what you focus on, what you believe, and what you tell yourself. But most people don't even realize the damage they're doing. They live in a loop of negativity, doubt, fear, excuses, without ever questioning it. And over time, that loop becomes their identity. They don't just think negative thoughts, they become them. Do you ever hear someone say, "I'm just not good at that," or "That's just the way I am"? That's not truth, it's conditioning. It's a script they've played in their mind so many times that their brain now runs it on autopilot. But here's the thing, your brain listens to every word you say. Every time you reinforce a limiting belief, your brain strengthens the neural pathways that make it your reality. You say you're bad at speaking, your brain makes sure you stay that way. You say you'll never be successful, your mind will sabotage every opportunity, not because it's true, but because that's what you've trained it to believe. But let me ask you, what if you flip the script? What if instead of telling yourself why you can't, you started reinforcing why you can? Because your brain doesn't care if your thoughts are positive or negative, it just responds to repetition. You repeat doubt, you get more doubt. You repeat power, confidence, certainty, you rewire your mind for success. This isn't some motivational hype, this is neuroscience. Your brain is adaptable, it's always changing. The only question is, are you changing it in your favor, or are you programming it to keep you small? The fastest way to shift this, awareness. You have to catch the negative thoughts in real time. The moment you hear yourself say, "I can't, I'm not good enough, this is impossible," stop, interrupt the pattern, replace it with something powerful. I am capable. I will figure this out. I am built for more. And don't just say it, own it, feel it, repeat it until it's your new default setting. Because the truth is, your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your future. If you keep feeding yourself negativity, if you keep reinforcing doubt, your life will reflect that. But the second you decide to take control, to shift your mindset, to speak power into your life instead of weakness, that's when everything changes. Because when your mind is working for you instead of against you, there is nothing you can't do. Look around. We live in a world that's constantly fighting for your attention. Notifications, endless scrolling, nonstop entertainment at your fingertips. And most people don't even realize the price they're paying. They think they're just checking their phone for a minute, watching one more video, responding to one more message. But what they're really doing is training their brain to be distracted, to be restless, to be unable to focus on anything that actually matters. Your brain wasn't designed for this level of constant stimulation. Every time you switch tasks, every time you jump from one thing to another, your brain burns energy. And the more you do it, the harder it becomes to focus. That's why you sit down to work and 5 minutes later you're reaching for your phone. That's why you start a project and before you know it, you're lost in a rabbit hole of distractions. It's not because you're lazy, it's because your brain has been conditioned to crave quick hits of dopamine instead of deep, meaningful focus. And here's the scary part. This isn't just about losing time, it's about losing potential. When your brain is constantly bouncing from one thing to another, it never gets the chance to go deep. And deep focus is where the magic happens. It's where creativity is born. It's where the biggest ideas, the game-changing breakthroughs, the real progress comes from. But if you don't train your brain to focus, if you let distraction control you, you will always stay stuck on the surface, never reaching the depth of what you're truly capable of. So, what's the solution? You have to take back control. You have to become intentional about where your attention goes. That means setting boundaries. That means eliminating the noise. That means creating space for deep work, for real thinking, for actual creativity. It's not about cutting technology out of your life. It's about using it instead of letting it use you. When you sit down to do something important, remove the distractions, put the phone away, close the tabs, train your brain to lock in, to go deep, to stay in the zone. Because at the end of the day, your ability to focus is your greatest competitive advantage. In a world where most people can't pay attention for more than a few seconds, the ones who can go deep, who can think clearly, who can push past distraction, those are the ones who win. And when you decide to master your focus, when you stop letting the world pull you in 100 different directions, that's when you unlock the next level of your mind. The people you surround yourself with are shaping you every single day. Their words, their energy, their mindset all seeps into your brain, rewiring the way you think, the way you act, the way you see the world. And most people don't even realize that they go through life surrounded by negativity, by doubt, by small thinking, and then wonder why they feel stuck, why they can't break through, why they keep questioning themselves. It's not a mystery. Your environment is either fueling your growth or slowly killing your potential. Look at the people in your life. Are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? Are they challenging you to think bigger, to be better, to go after what you really want? Or are they keeping you comfortable, keeping you small, making you feel like dreaming bigger is foolish? Because make no mistake, your brain is constantly absorbing the energy around you. And if that energy is full of fear, doubt, and excuses, that's exactly what will get reinforced in your own mind. You ever notice how being around certain people drains you? How their negativity, their complaining, their endless list of reasons why things won't work somehow makes you start doubting yourself? That's not just a feeling, that's your brain picking up on their patterns. And the longer you're around that energy, the more it becomes your own. But the opposite is also true. Get around people who are driven, who think big, who push themselves every single day, and watch how your mindset starts to shift. Suddenly, success doesn't seem so far away. Suddenly, taking action feels natural. This is why you have to be ruthless about your environment. You have to protect your mind like your future depends on it, because it does. That doesn't mean cutting people out of your life completely, but it does mean being intentional. Spend less time with the people who drain you and more time with the people who inspire you. And if you don't have those people in your life yet, seek them out. Read their books, watch their interviews, consume the energy of those who are already where you want to be. Because here's the truth. Your brain will always adapt to the environment you put it in. So put it in one that forces you to grow. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you, who make you step up. Because when you do, you won't just think bigger, you'll become bigger. And that's when everything changes. Sleep isn't just rest, it's fuel for your brain. Yet most people treat it like an afterthought, something they'll catch up on later, like it's optional. They grind late into the night, they push through exhaustion, they wear sleep deprivation like a badge of honor. But let me tell you something, if you're not getting enough sleep, you are sabotaging yourself at the highest level. Your focus, your energy, your decision making, your ability to solve problems and think creatively, everything suffers when you don't give your brain the recovery it needs. Your brain isn't just sitting there doing nothing when you sleep. It's working, it's repairing, it's organizing everything you've learned, clearing out toxins, strengthening connections that make you sharper, faster, more resilient. And when you cut sleep short, you're not just waking up tired, you're waking up at a fraction of your potential. You might think you can power through, drink some coffee, push a little harder, but over time the damage builds up. Your reaction time slows, your memory weakens, your ability to focus disappears, and worst of all, you start operating in a fog that you don't even realize is there. You ever notice how after a good night's sleep, everything feels easier, you think clearer, your energy is higher, your mood is better, and you're ready to attack the day? That's not random. That's your brain fully charged. And yet most people are running on empty every single day. They stay up late scrolling, watching TV, answering emails, thinking they're being productive when really they're draining themselves. They wake up groggy, hit the snooze button, drag themselves through the morning, and wonder why they can't stay motivated. It's not a motivation problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's a brain energy problem. If you want to perform at your highest level, if you want to be unstoppable, you have to start treating sleep like the weapon it is. That means prioritizing it, protecting it, and making sure you get enough of it. That means cutting off screens before bed so your brain knows it's time to wind down. That means creating a routine that signals to your body that it's time to recover. That means making sleep non-negotiable, just like training, just like nutrition, just like everything else that fuels your success. Because the truth is, your brain is the most powerful tool you have. And when you give it what it needs, when you let it recharge, you don't just wake up. You wake up ready. You wake up with energy, with clarity, with the fire to go after what you want. And in a world where most people are walking around exhausted, drained, and distracted, the one who is fully charged, fully focused, fully locked in, that's the one who wins.